Andy from Flushmate here. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the lower supply group on your Flushmate 503 and 504 series units. Before you begin, make sure you read and understand the entire installation and owner's manuals. Because Flushmate systems are pressurized, make sure you completely shut off the water supply to the unit and flush it to release pressure. Failure to do so could result in damage or injury. For this job, you'll need a bucket, a towel, a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a 1/4-inch nut driver, a pair of snips or shears to cut the hose attached to the upper supply, and for convenience, you can also use a Flushmate 3-in-1 wrench or large pair of pliers that opens at least 3 inches to be used for cartridge adjustment, the discharge lock nut, or the supply shank lock nut. Turn the water supply valve off by turning the handle clockwise or to the right. Flush the toilet to relieve the pressure in the Flushmate vessel. Remove the tank lid and move it out of the work area. Place your bucket under the inlet shank. Disconnect the water supply line and use the bucket to catch any residual water from the supply line and shank. If you have any standing water in the tank, loosen the supply shank lock nut to drain out any standing water in the tank. If you have an adjustable clamp on the upper supply, loosen that and remove the hose from the barb. Remove the tank nut bolts and washers that secure the porcelain tank to the bowl. Your toilet may have 2 or 3 tank bolts. All will need to be removed. Once the tank nuts and washers have been removed from the tank bolts, lift the porcelain tank straight up and off the bowl. Place the toilet tank gently on its back. Remove the tank to bowl gasket, discharge extension lock nut, and inlet shank lock nut. Keep the discharge lock nut. We'll use that when we reinstall the vessel. The lower supply will come with a new lock nut. Remove the Flushmate from the toilet tank. If you have a 503 series, you may need to remove the lower supply from the post on the bottom of the vessel. Pull down to release the lower supply. Now, remove the Flushmate from the toilet tank. Discard the original lower supply group. Place the hose clamp onto the new lower supply group. Install the supply hose onto the hose barb of the upper supply and tighten the hose clamp. Install the Flushmate vessel back into the toilet tank. Install the discharge extension lock nut and replacement lower supply shank lock nut, then slide the tank to bowl gasket over the threaded discharge extension. The tapered end of the gasket will face towards the toilet bowl. Now let's set the tank back onto the bowl. Line up the tank to bowl bolts with the holes on the bowl and carefully lower the tank onto the bowl. Place a washer and a nut on each bolt and hand tighten them. Once hand tight, evenly tighten the nuts on the bolts until the tank is secured. Do not over-tighten the nuts. Over-tightening the nuts can result in damage to the toilet tank or to the bowl. Reconnect the water supply line to the inlet shank and hand tighten. Turn the water supply valve on all the way and check for leaks. Once the vessel is pressurized, flush the toilet and check for water leaks between the toilet tank and bowl. If the water is leaking, you may need to tighten the tank more. Tighten the tank in small incremental turns. The installation is now complete. For other troubleshooting videos and how-to videos, visit our website at flushmate.com/resources. For technical support and resources, you can contact Flushmate using the information below. Thank you.